I spent Saturday in Washington, D.C. I'd like to talk about that while enjoying a pipe. Howdy, y'all. Virginia Piper here. I had a great weekend. My sister and her family live in Texas, and because of the distance between us, we don't get to see them too often. So when they decided to visit Washington, D.C., we made it a point to join them. I like to tell people that D.C. is pretty much in our backyard. And then I add that we have a really big backyard. Well, the trip inspired me to come up with some helpful hints which may help you should you ever visit our nation's capital. So here we go. So here's your first tip. It's usually humid in the district, so prepare for it. Rumor has it that Washington, D.C. was built on swampland. That might be urban legend. Regardless, cold days, it just goes right through you, and hot days feel brutal. So, if you're there in the summer, definitely wear loose-fitting, reflective clothing. Also, bring along some cash with denominations no larger than $20 for vendors who sell water, Gatorade, and Italian ice. Trust me, you'll need it. In fact, actually, at one stop, I got both Italian ice and Gatorade. Tip number 2, stay on top of local news to see if any protests are planned. If so, your rides on the metro might be a little bit crowded. Hotel rooms also might be kind of hard to come by. Wasn't a problem for my sister and her family, but you never know. The third tip is this. Expenses add up fast in DC. Again, prepare for it. There's meals, parking, metro tickets. Those costs add up fast. Now, admission to all the places we visited was free. And yet, I spent over $100 for me, my wife, and son. And we didn't get any souvenirs. This was just basically getting there and eating. The other tip is the distance between Capitol Hill and the Lincoln Memorial, that's both ends of the National Mall, is a lot longer than you think. It's about a 2-mile walk from one end of the National Mall to the other. And there are barricades along the way that are going to keep you from walking in a straight line. So you could probably tack on at least another half mile to that walk. We couldn't just pass by the Washington Monument. Instead, to get past it, we had to walk around a wide perimeter. My next tip, do not bring a pipe with you. To get into museums, you have to go through security, and it's almost like going through an airport. You're going to need to empty your pockets, and your pipe stuff will just be more stuff that you're going to have to deal with, in addition to your wallet and all of that. Another thing, too, is smoking is not allowed at a lot of the monuments and memorials. So I'd say don't even bother. The next tip, don't expect the water in the reflecting pool by the Lincoln Memorial to look pristine. When we went recently, it was filled with algae. Sometimes it's drained and cleaned because, well, it's untreated, stagnant water. Next tip, plan on spending several days if you want to check out everything on the National Mall. I mean, it is chock full of museums. Admission to the Smithsonian Museums is free, and you could easily spend at least half a day visiting each one. And that is a half day on each. And the monuments, well, boy, they're just incredible. We visited the Vietnam and Korean War memorials. My favorite of the two is the Korean War Memorial, which has a garden depicting battle scenes and a granite wall featuring the same, but almost kind of like ghost-like images, indicating that the soldiers died in battle. Really kind of moving. Of course, the Lincoln Memorial is a must-see. Another thing, too, is when we were there, we saw replicas of the Lincoln Memorial and Washington Monument, artfully crafted using Legos. And we saw these guys. These are the running presidents, mascots for the Washington Nationals baseball team. And at certain points, they actually have a race just going around the baseball diamond. We also checked out the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial. This one has been on my bucket list for quite some time. And my last tip for you, when you return, it doesn't hurt to top off the day with a pipe or a good cigar. One more thing, if you're ever in the DC area, hey, let me know. Maybe we can get together and enjoy a pipe. Have a good one.